Hi everyone, this is Dr. Brie and
Linda Jollo.
We're back.
We're back. Darn it. Are you ready to have some fun? Because we are. And we're going to talk about what? Spirituality today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And love is the answer to every solution.
And love is the answer. And where do you start? I'm often asked, what is spirituality and how do we use it every day? I'm like, I don't know. That's a good question.
Like right now, I'm using my spirituality, listening to my dog bark outside the door, scratching. We got one in the office.
Yeah. So I think spirituality has to begin with unconditional love. And what is unconditional love? Unconditional love is really about being able to give and receive, and it starts with self. So you have to be able to give and receive to yourself and love yourself. So when I start my day and I look in the mirror as I'm getting my toothbrush ready and I say, I, Linda, love you, Linda, that begins my day. That's the start of my spirituality for the day. But it's more than just saying, I love you, Linda. I love you unconditionally. It is being able to put it into practice every day.
Yeah, it's love with no conditions, though.
Yes, love without conditions, because we always seem to put limits and boundaries around ourselves. Well, I can't love you because you wore red today. Well, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about you coming out as being gay and you're my son or my daughter, right? That might change my love for you, or it might increase my love for you. So it's, how do you start the day? How do you integrate it every day? And I think when you look at how we give and receive is where it all starts. You have to be able to give to yourself and receive for yourself. And that in Chinese medicine is called yin and yang. That is the balance. It's the balance of giving and receiving. And I know just in the last couple of months, I helped my sister clear 10 acres and move, which was a big chore and very stressful for all of us. We were also in the process of crossing my mom over to the other side. I was still trying to work a lot, just like they were, and it was very stressful, and my giving and receiving was like out of balance.
You know, when my mom transitioned over, and before she transitioned over, I have a friend, Michelle, and she lives in Idaho. I can't talk yet this early. Anyway, she lives in Idaho, and I talked to her every day. She would help me through it so much.
Yeah.
And I had this feeling this one day I needed there at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I came home. This is in this expensive hospital center. Oh my gosh, they have their own chefs in there for everything. Personal chef. So yeah, that's Hercules out there. You hear him scratching. Anyway, so I kept calling her. I said, she'll be there then. You know, you have, and she got the bill, I'd be there. So I came home and slept for a couple hours, and then I got up at 12, got there before 1 o'clock, and I walked in the room. I said, what are you doing awake? Mom, can you see it? Can you see it? Looks like a mansion. So my mom was, you know, and I saw the gold light come down. And then my friend Michelle helped through a lot with that, right? Right. And here's the thing though, is when we do this, we're doing it unconditional when we help friends. Right. There's a love that she gave me with no conditions.
Right. And we do it every day. I think now that we're in fifth dimension, the trick is we consciously have to work with unconditional love all day long, all night long, and co-create not only with ourselves, but with other people on the planet, whether it's our mates, our children, our work people, the plants, the animals, we all have to co-create. And how do we do that? And we do that through giving and receiving. And so what does giving and receiving look like? Because when I get busy, I get out of balance, just like everybody else. My giving and receiving is like nothing, right? So if we look through the chakras and we start at the root, what is that? That is about safety. That's about survival. That's about meeting our basic needs, right? So what do we give and receive? You know, we give ourselves food. We give ourselves shelter, right? And when we receive the best and highest of that, we receive it. Sometimes we need help and have to sleep on a friend's couch, or, you know, borrow their camp trailer, or, you know, we need to go to the food bank. All of these things are about giving and receiving, right? People give to the food bank, people receive. And it's when we do it without expectations, without limitations, and understand that, hey, today I needed to go to the food bank because I just need help. I can't make ends meet. It's the end of the month. I just need food. And it's okay, because you know you're going to turn around and give back.
Right.
But the fact that you went and received it with joy and gratitude, right, is unconditional love. You didn't put a limitation on it. You didn't say, well, I can only take a certain amount, right? I have to sneak in. It's not about sneaking in. It's about giving and receiving with lots of love and joy and gratitude. That's kind of how fifth dimension works. So when we look at the second chakra, it's all about what? Creativity, right? And that is so powerful, because we have to use our creativity and our imagination to create our world. Einstein said, everything exists and is held in space for us, in cargo, in storage, until we focus on it and begin to call it in. When we begin to call it in, we call it in through creativity. We call it in through unconditional love. We call it in through state of grace, which is your connection to God, spirit, the universe, however that looks to you. And when we call it in, the universe will send it to us in 13 seconds or less. When we add joy, passion, and gratitude, 3 seconds or less. And it's very powerful. I was sitting and having lunch several years ago, and the bill came, and I went, oh, wow, I forgot my purse. Oops. And I said, you know, it's a 20-minute drive out, because at that time the office was out in the country, not in town. And then I would have to make, you know, drive out and drive back. And so I said, well, I need one of my salespeople to come in and buy me lunch. And in the meantime, oh, can I have some more hot tea, right? And about 6 minutes later, in come my salesperson, Warren, and he goes, I don't know why I stopped today to have lunch with you. He goes, I was driving from Spokane. I made a delivery to Spokane, and I'm not normally in Ellensburg on a Wednesday, but here I am, and I'm having lunch, and here, let me just buy you lunch. But he didn't understand why he was there, because he had no intentions and no plans into coming into Ellensburg, because he was going to get off at Vantage and go to Yakima that way. Instead, he came across the bridge all the way into Ellensburg, and then had lunch with me, and then went back to Yakima. And I'm just like, oh my God, it works, right? The universe sent me somebody to pay for lunch so I wouldn't have to do all that driving. He got a break. We ended up having a fabulous hour lunch. So we use it every day. We just don't understand that we're co-creating, and that we're giving and receiving.
We're co-creating right now.
We're co-creating right now,
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The dogs are co-creating with us, because one's sitting here at our feet being really, really quiet, and the other one's like, oh, I want to come in, but I'm too big and I'm too wiggly, and I really want to be out here, but I want to be part of it.
He's 6 months old. He's only a little baby. He's Newfoundland and St. Bernard.
Yeah.
That's all he is, a big puppy. And that's who you hear barking. So I want to hit something else that you talked about right now. So creativity and bless ourselves, like you had mentioned, food bank. I'm going to go on the other side of this now.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I got my seatbelt on.
You need your seatbelt on for this one. Okay, so let me get a little closer here again. We gotta get together. Okay, so what I want to talk about is when we use spirituality in our lives, and we have that emptiness inside of us that we've never felt the Creator's love, and or the Mother Goddess Gaia, our Earth Mother. You know, what we have done. Now, I am one that has done this, so I'll be totally honest. Hello, shopping malls.
See, and I'm not a shopper. So when my friends call and say, hey, we're going to go up to the casino and shop Friday and Saturday, and we've got a room, and everybody's going to pitch in, and we're going to go to the big mall, and we're going to do the casino, I'm like, yeah, no, thank you.
Well, but I don't go to the casino. We just go shopping all day long. Okay? And I used to shop, buy everything. My shoes had to match my purses, so think about how many shoes and purses I had. Everything I had, okay? And it was to fill something inside me that was missing.
You cannot fill your
But
emptiness, the void, the lack of unconditional love and joy and creativity with material things.
correct, and that's what people are doing though, and I want them to feel that love.
Right.
You know, just feel that love. You know, connect with the Creator, connect with Mother God's side, connect with your guides and your angels. I have pushy angels and I have pushy guides, and they are hard on me, and they push me to learn these things so I can bring them to you. But I have to go through like a year ahead of time. And Linda has seen what I've had to go through. And learn these things so I can bring them to you. And Linda, she goes through the same thing. We both do. We learned years earlier than a lot of people do. But that's nothing bad. But
we all learn at our own rate, and where you are is where you are, and it is a good space. And when you create and talk about it and share is when your understanding and your connection to it begins to happen, and you trust what you know, right? And so there's a lot of us out there that don't even understand what love is because we didn't see it as we were growing up. We don't have the pattern. And so we have to look to the internet, television. Some of us turn to shopping. Some of us turn to self-medication with a variety of things. Some of us turn to food. Some of us turn to knowledge. It's all of that quest to fill that emptiness in us. And when you finally make the connection that you are not alone, that you are loved, and when you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I, Linda, love you, Linda, and Brie can say, I, Brie, love me, Brie, then it begins. And there is something that just happens, that there's this calmness, this clarity, the just centered beingness. You just feel grounded, and you know that you are okay and that you're part of something bigger.
right.
And that's when the fun begins. That's when you can really, really start connecting and having fun.
So I want to go back to shopping though again, because I know what you're saying. I have to go back to this. So my mother would take me every weekend shopping. Every Saturday we went to the mall. So it was indoctrinated me since I was a little girl. This is what you do to make yourself happy every weekend.
See, and my mom would take us to the woods and to the lake to swim.
And that would be a treat once a year. Yeah.
Because we never shop.
And
which is funny because I got on I-5 the day before, and I'm talking to my friend Wes, and I said, oh my God, I have this overwhelming urge to get off at 512 and go to the mall and shop. And I'm like, wait, I don't shop. What is this overwhelming urge to shop?
But maybe because you're losing weight, there was something you needed, you know, and you never know. But, oh my gosh, you have to have unconditional love with that puppy too. I'm just thinking all the stories right now. He's like, can I come in? But literally, I'm 5 foot, he comes up to almost my waist. He's so big. The thing is, so what I bring across to you today is knowing that you can love yourself with no conditions. And people also. We're not supposed to have conditions on nobody. So I talked about boundaries, and I'm not using boundaries or limitations no more at all. And I'm feeling better. So what I did is I started taking sticky notes.
Yeah.
I love you. I love myself, or whatever. And every day I would have to say that. Finally, I started saying, heart, I love you. Heart, I love you. And when I started doing this, heart, I love you, things started changing in my life. I started noticing, wait a minute, oh, so I'm loving myself no matter what outside I am, right? Yeah, seriously.
You have to, because you are who you are.
Well, yeah, there's some that need to go away of who I am, though, but we're all good about that. I'm gonna let Linda talk for a little bit more because I have a puppy to take care of. You talk to them.
Our animals are great mirrors for us. They bring us lots of joy. They bring us healing. They bring us lots and lots to the table. Most of our pets contract to come in for 9 years. So if you got an older pet, know that every day after 9 years is a gift. And if they've stayed with you for 10 or 15 and now they're ready to cross over, it is because you took great care of them and they knew unconditional love. And it's very important because our animals come to experience unconditional love. And so when you adopt that pet out of the shelter, or you take one in off the street, or you just put out water for them or some food and not try to bring them in because they're too wild and they want to be out, know that they're doing their work, because those animals crisscross the neighborhood and they keep it clean. They clean it energetically. They send healing. They spread that unconditional love that you give them by setting out food, or just acknowledge them. Say, hey, almost kitty, you're almost some color, almost. How are you today, right? Or you tell the crow, hey, I hear you talking to me. What's going on, right?
You know what I do? Thank you for bringing all the magic in the world so we can do our job.
Yeah.
I have crows every day around this house, and I thank them, and then they leave, and they know what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
So and give your job. Oh, give your angels jobs, guys. By the way, yeah.
They can't help you unless you ask. And the unknown angels, oh my gosh, I put them to work like crazy because they are like the worker force.
Right.
They live to do anything. So when my husband Tim was alive, he built me this 3,000 square foot ranch home. It was beautiful. Got in it, lived in it for 2 weeks, and every time the water shifted or something came on, there was this big bang and clanging, right? From the well to the house. And I'm like, oh, this is really annoying. So I called the plumber, and the plumber came and said, Linda, I can't do anything about it. It's just how it is. And I said, oh, okay, I'll fix it. So I went out, had a talk with the well at the wellhead, right? Gave it some crystals, gave it a little bit of food, and called in the unknown angels to catch that noise so that they can play catch with it, right? They can play catch with the water, and never had that clanging and banging after that. So when the plumber called and he goes, well, how's that noise bothering you? I said, oh, I put an angel on it. And he went, okay, good idea, right? There's this long pause. And he goes, well, I suppose you put a rock on it too. And I go, oh, absolutely. He goes, well, I wish I could do that with all my people. And I said, yeah, but you can't. It's like if something doesn't work, then stop doing it and do something else, right? We make choices every day. And every day we have to choose love, or we choose sadness, or we choose to be unwell.
Yeah, and that's where the choosing about your body, stop it.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell her, stop it. Quit. Okay, so it's my own responsibility on how I feel inside.
Yes, I'm not responsible for your happiness.
No.
I'm not responsible for your sadness. I'm not responsible for how you act or react as your buttons and triggers get pushed throughout the day. Only you can decide how to act or react to those triggers.
That's something else I want to talk about. Are they always your triggers, though?
Well, I think that we mirror for each other, because all relationships, and let's face it, everybody on this planet is in a relationship with everybody, right? Plants, animals, we all are here to co-create and grow. So we hold the mirror for each other.
So you're talking about the mirror effect, or you just talk about the mirror?
Both. We hold the mirror so that I can see that, yes, you got triggered, but what did I do to trigger? Because there's something in that trigger that's for me to learn and to grow.
And I think, so, you know, we have different opinions, right? And I think now when somebody has an issue, I look back and I say, is it their issue? And I talk to my guide and I go to the guide's realm and to find out, is that my problem or theirs? I want to find out because I used to do that. Even, oh, it triggered me. There must be something wrong with me.
I don't know that when you get triggered, there's nothing necessarily something wrong with you.
Right. No,
I think it's a cue for you to see what's going on in your life.
And then sometimes it's not our cues, though.
Well, it's not our cues, but the guides, or you call and you trigger me. I call, I trigger you, and it's not. And sometimes it's both of our lessons, right? It's both of our issues, and other times it's not anything to do.
But is that not what we're still talking about? That's in the third and fourth dimension still.
Right.
And we're in the fifth though. So should we actually be talking about that? To bring people forward into the fifth.
Well, I think we have to talk about it a little bit, but not put the emphasis on action and reaction.
Right.
Because we don't have karmic debt. What we have is co-creation.
Right. Karma's gone.
Right. So what we have is co-creation and unconditional love.
Right.
So when we trigger each other, it's because we don't have a clear understanding of what we're trying to co-create.
Mm-hmm.
So if our mate comes home and he's tired or she's tired and they say, I want dinner, and you didn't fix dinner and you were home all day, right? That was
Don't get me started. Okay, that's it. Now the soapbox happens again. So I work from home. My office at home, I like it here, right? I don't mind dogs making noise. This is part of life, right? They're my babies. So my husband goes, what'd you do all day? The house is clean, the dishes are done, the laundry's done, and between filming and doing my other work I do in my office here, I'm running in and out of the office, taking care of the dogs, doing this, doing that, making the bed, you know, everything, right? He comes home and says, what'd you do all day? I'm tired. I did 3 interviews. So let me tell you something. When I have a guest, I let them actually just, like when they run the show, because she's here as a guest. Or when I have them on Zoom, they're my guests, and I let them run the show. And then when I do my own videos, that's different.
You run yourself.
I run myself, that's right.
Get out of your way.
Well, no, actually my guys in God's era, like this morning, got me up at 12 o'clock, and I get a couple of sleepy time thinking, I'm not tired, and I'm in the office. I heard go in the office, and I start typing. I can't see, no contacts on. I grab my other glasses, right? I'm typing, and I go, oh, and then I put my statement in there. So it was like, okay, all right. So if you go to Brie on the look at Dr. Brie, you know, page on Facebook, you go Brie, you will see that writing, and you can print it out. He's like too early in the morning. But he has said, I'm tired, honey. I was late in bed, right? So he got home at 7 o'clock, and that's my time to finally relax. You make dinner. I said, do I look away? No. What have you done? And I'm like going, what have I done? Hey, try to pay somebody to do the work I do around here, right? See how much that's going to cost you. And it's not nothing bad. It's not nothing bad.
It's our perceptions.
And so now that I've learned this love with no conditions, okay, now it's like, well, why don't you make dinner tonight for us? Yeah. I'm not hungry by the time he comes home anyway. And so it's like, okay, you know, I thought 3 o'clock he eats a big salad and I'm done, right? And so it's like, okay. He goes, well, I guess I'll have some chili and hot dogs. I said, honey, there's dinner and leftover dinner or dinner in the refrigerator for him, right? I always make sure he eats. So I was like, but I laugh because sometimes I say, grab that and have some chili dogs or something, which is gross, right?
But he likes it. It's a guy thing.
Yeah.
Give them the food that they like, right?
Right. But the thing about it is sometimes they don't realize how hard we really work at home.
Well, and we look at on the other position because
And I
he
know
drives
how hard.
truck all
And
day.
he works hard.
And it's like, what did you do? You just sat in the truck all day.
Uh-uh.
Well, no, you got out, you did the load, you dropped the load, you picked the load, you unloaded the load, you dealt with trailer mix-ups. I mean, you dealt with traffic. Oh my God, the traffic around here, we don't know what it's like in your area, but the traffic here is horrendous. So we know that you're tired, but you know, by the same token, we can say, well, you just sat in the truck all day.
Yeah,
But we would never do that.
No.
We would just say, oh, okay, so, you know, you were doing other things besides doing your job, right? Most of us don't understand that our truck drivers have a tremendous role that they play for community service for all of us on the planet. And
that's delivering cards, food, the grocery store, if you're working for FSA or whoever.
But besides all of that, most of our roads sit on ley lines and crystal grid lines. And what they do is they move that energy and spread it out so that everybody has a piece of the love, that everybody can get safely up and down the roads, right? Because they're on the roads every day. They know when there's an accident as soon as the traffic stops moving, you know, 1 mile different. They know where that accident is, and they can tell you almost within 200 feet. And Brie and I are like, oh yeah, you know, the traffic slowed down. They're like, oh, well, you know, there's an accident. You might want to think about getting off. And we're like, what? Well, I'm still doing 45, right? And they're like, no, in a quarter of a mile, you're going to be at a standstill for 2 hours. You might want to think about getting off.
Kelly calls me because, you know, we don't have the CVs like they used to in the car anymore, right? And my first husband was a long hauler, right? So anyway, but he calls me and goes, don't take this freeway, go this way if you're going to go up there because this is what's happening. And I get on the freeway anyway and call in my angels and my guides and say, angels, help me now. And next thing I know, I'm where I need to be. It's like it clears it all up. So, you know, but yeah, and then sometimes I have to sit there believing. There's some other times too. But I just want people to use their spirituality and what they can bring to the table to help other people. And you brought a lot of great information out today. Thank you so much.
Just have fun. Know that you know what you know. And when you don't know, just ask that everybody today has unconditional love, fresh food and water and shelter.
Right.
And that is your service work for the day. I have unconditional love programmed onto the tires of my car so that no matter where I am traveling, because I travel a lot, every time the tires make a rotation, they're putting in unconditional love.
Right.
Into the grid, into the road, into the community, right? When I go by dumpsters, I ask that the guides fix it so those that are homeless or the animals or anybody that needs to eat can eat and not get sick.
Right.
Right? So there's many ways to use your gift. If you are ill and you can only sit and pray and visualize for people, that's an awesome gift. We need more people like that, right? If you're the janitor, oh my God, you're cleaning up more than just the room you're working on. You're cleaning up the energetic energy of the space, of your community, right? So we have to begin to allow our consciousness and our awareness expand, that our spiritual gifts we use every day. We're just beginning to consciously and actively work with them so that we can co-create with each other better. And it's an awesome, awesome thing.
It is. So if you want to hear more from Linda, go to Linda Jollo, Jollo.
Must be Jollo because Jollo doesn't shake like that. And don't send me a message in the middle of the night going, I can't get that out of my head.
Instant messenger on Facebook, or you can go to drbriegibbs.com and hit my contact page, and I will give her your message and she'll get a hold of you. So thank you for being with us today. God's blessings, and have a blessed day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.